Welcome back, everybody. This is a continuation of a race dashboard series I've been doing. What we've got here is a Nissan 240SX, aka the S13 dashboard, and we have done a lot of work to this thing. We removed some vents, filled in the gauge cluster area. Obviously, it does not have a center console drop anymore, so it's going to be more of like a race car setup, right? So glove box door has been filled, and what we got going on now is a little bit of waxing and buffing. Top of the morning, Affinity Tumbling. How you doing, my friend? So we got some flanges here. This is going to be where the mold gets made up to. Those are nothing but cardboard and some hot glue, and then I have covered them with aluminum foil tape. So the primer surfacer I'm using is made by Duratec Hawkeye Industries. It's just regular vinyl ester primer surfacer. This is a fantastic base for waxing and buffing and all that kind of fun stuff. So, hi Linda. So yeah, been a long road coming getting to this point, but we are at the final stages of getting this thing going for a mold. So, gonna set up the camera rig here, get the wax out, all that kind of fun jazz. I'm gonna try to get a good angle here. I could have tested this out a little bit better beforehand. That's all right though. That's about where I think we want to be, right? You guys get that? Close enough for government work, right? There we go. All right, camera stand. All right, we are off to the races almost. There we go. That's not a bad view. You guys can see what's going on, right? I think so. So what I'm going to be using today is our TR mold release wax compound. This is designed to be used with all types of different composites, from epoxy to the vinyl ester bases, polyester bases. It's very, very, very good stuff. You do need to read the instructions, and you do need to put on the appropriate amount of wax coats, because if you don't, it's going to stick, and we do not want anything to stick. So you see I have all these different dividers. This mold is going to be basically a 4-part mold. We've got our main dashboard section here. We've got a left and a right end cap, and then we've got a bottom section. So I'm going to start out by doing this top main section. And what we're going to do is, once that's molded, we'll take the flanges off, do our end caps. But step one, we just start to throw some wax down. Small little circles. If you guys are old enough to remember the Karate Kid, wax on, wax off. I'm going to end up putting 5 coats of wax on this in total. So the process basically is to put a coat of wax on first, wait for it to dry, wipe it off, and then half an hour later you do a second wax coat. Let it dry, wipe it off. Half hour later, you do a third wax coat. So it's really, really, really important that you go through the wax steps, let it sit between the coats. Make sure that you've got all the different surface coverage tuned up, and you can kind of see the color starting to change a little bit, so we know where we've waxed and where we haven't waxed. With any luck, I will get to the tooling process of this. Maybe tomorrow is kind of what we're going to start for, or kind of shoot for. Let me see if I can do some first person kind of looks here. Is Talik, how you doing? For our surface finish, this has been sanded down to 400 grit. Depending on what you're doing, and this is a big question here. Depending on what you're doing and how many parts you're going to pull off, you may need to go a little bit further. You may want to bring it out to 800 or 1000, 1200 grit, whatever. Obviously, the shinier your mold is, the shinier your part is going to be right out of the gate. Since this is a race car project, we are not going for, let's just say, show car finish. We're trying to kind of go for a nice matte flat look. So we're going to be doing a final clear coat and all that kind of jazz paintwork after the fact, if we go that far. So again, race car. If this was show car grade, then yes, we want to sand out to 1500, 2000 grit before we do our wax stages. But for race car stuff, this is going to be just fine. It's going to make us a nice dashboard mold. And if the customer does want to get this clear coated after the fact, it's going to look like $1 million regardless. It's just going to require a little bit of body work. So that's not the end of the world. Make sure we try to get in all the little cracks and all the crevices here. It's very, very, very important that you do your best to get in all those little surface areas, because if you don't, you're going to have a part that gets stuck. And nothing is worse than spending all this time making your really nice pattern or mold and having the mold get stuck in the mold making process. That is no fun whatsoever. So we try not to do that. I haven't stuck a part in many, many years, so you can see we've got a nice big fat mounting flange here. So this will be perfect for our carbon fiber layup and our resin infusion once we get to that stage. Now I'm not really waxing the tinfoil too much yet. It doesn't need more than about a coat of wax on it. The tinfoil is a fairly good release agent on its own. So that's a little trick of the trade. But I am going to kind of keep going through this just a little bit more. Just make sure we hit everything really, really well with that first coat of wax. You can see I did leave an area for the Vintag because, you know, race cars deserve Vintags too, right? So that will be a very nice imprint on our pattern. I think that looks pretty good for our first wax coat. I'm going to grab a couple rags here, give this a quick wipe down. For the rags, I'm just using standard microfiber towels. Nothing crazy. And not a lot of pressure. You just want to do a nice quick wipe. It's okay if the wax is a little bit built up on this stage. Does not need to be 100% wiped off. You do want to get as much as you can, but it's not critical that it's a mere polish fine. There we go. That's looking really good. I think I got everywhere, right? Did I miss anything? I don't think I did. Don't think I did. I think that's a pretty good first coat. So I'm going to put on a second coat right now while we're at it. And then we'll let this sit for a little while. So typically, like I said, you want to put a coat of wax on, let it sit for about half hour before you put your next coat on. The first couple coats, I don't mind going back to back on them. It's kind of all personal preference, but make sure you got a really good wax base before your second and third and fourth coats. Again, it's important that you get all the way out to the edge of the perimeter. It's important that you get all your surface area covered. Make sure you get those edges real nice. Make your cleanup a lot easier down the road. All right, that's looking fantastic. What do you guys think? Looking good? I think we're I think we're good to go. And again, that's the TR mold release. Wipes on, wipes off very, very, very easily. It's a fantastic release agent. I've been using it for years and years and years with excellent results. Like I said, it's not very often that I have stuck a mold, and largely that's because I'm using a high quality wax. Do not want to just use regular stuff from the auto parts store. That's going to end up being trouble down the road for you. So hit up a composite supplier, get yourself some nice TR wax, and you'll be good to go. Like downtown Julie Brown. Again, we're going to try to get off as much of that wax residue as we possibly can here. All right, that is looking fantastic for our first couple coats. So with that, I think I'm gonna end the live a little bit early here because you guys don't need to watch the next 3 coats, right? Nobody's interested like that. But yeah, we got dashboard flanges, first couple coats of wax down. We'll keep putting more wax on here, and I will catch you guys when I do my first top tooling coat. Show you how I put the tooling coat on. Maybe we'll do our first layer of fiberglass while we're at it too, but race dash for the Nissan S13 240SX on the way. Should be pretty cool. So anyway, thank you guys for stopping by. Happy Wednesday. And yeah, I'll catch you guys later when we do the top coat. So rock and roll. I'll catch you guys later.